Ethan sat on the edge of the hangar platform, staring at the old fighter ship before him. Its paint was chipped, the hull scratched, and the engines looked like they had not fired in years. For most people, it was just a heap of metal, a relic that would cost more to fix than it was worth. But for Ethan, it was a dream, a chance to finally fly among the stars. At 18, he had never owned a real ship, only toy models and flight simulators. But he had saved every credit from his small part-time jobs on the colony, every coin and token that came his way, and now, all of it went into this fighter. His friends had laughed when he told them, "You're buying a junker? You'll never get it flying," they had said. His parents were even less encouraging. "Ethan, it's dangerous. Just leave it. It's not worth it." But Ethan could not stop thinking about it. Something about the ship called to him. He ran a hand over the cold metal surface. Despite the damage, the ship had a kind of beauty. Lines that had once made it a deadly fighter still showed in its shape. He imagined the roar of its engines, the stars rushing past as he navigated asteroid fields or distant planets. A smile formed on his face. "I'll fix you," he whispered, "and I'll see the galaxy with you." Ethan spent the first week cleaning and inspecting the fighter. Every panel was removed, circuits checked, wires traced. He found old components that were outdated, rust eating into joints, and fuel lines that had long since dried up. It was hard work, more than he had expected. Many nights he fell asleep in the hangar, exhausted, dreaming of distant worlds. While checking the control panel one evening, Ethan noticed something unusual. A small compartment, hidden beneath the pilot's seat, marked with strange symbols that did not match any human language he knew. Curiosity burned in him. He pried the compartment open carefully. Inside was a small device, unlike anything he had ever seen. It was smooth and metallic, with a faint glow pulsating from within. Ethan's fingers trembled as he touched it. The device hummed, and suddenly, lights flickered across the ship's dashboard. Lines of text appeared on the screen, written in a language that was unfamiliar but strangely familiar at the same time. Symbols shifted and reformed, as if trying to communicate something. Ethan stepped back, heart racing. What are you?" he muttered. He spent hours trying to make sense of it. The ship's AI, an old model, recognized the device but could only give partial translations. Some words appeared in a rough form of standard galactic language. Seek, worthy, pilot, heart of stars, secrets. The meaning was incomplete, but the message was clear. This device was meant for someone, and it was meant to guide him. Ethan felt a thrill he had never known before. He had always wanted adventure, but he had never imagined finding something like this, something that might have been waiting for him all along. He realized that the fighter was not just a ship, it was a key. And he held the first piece of a puzzle left behind by someone or something long gone. The next morning, Ethan began testing the ship's systems, still unsure of what the message might lead to. Engines sparked, circuits buzzed, and warning lights flashed. He had to repair everything from scratch, using old manuals and his own intuition. Every day brought small victories. A panel fixed, a wire reconnected, a fuel injector cleaned. And with each success, he felt closer to understanding the message and, perhaps, to discovering its origin. One evening, as he worked late in the hangar, Ethan noticed a faint star map projected on the device. The stars shown did not match any charts he had seen in the colony. They were unfamiliar, distant, and far beyond the known reaches of human space. Ethan's eyes widened. This is real," he whispered. "This isn't just a message. It's a map. Someone wants me to go there." The thought was both exciting and terrifying. Beyond the colony, beyond the mapped stars, lay unknown systems, possibly dangerous, possibly deadly. But the fire in Ethan's heart could not be quenched. He knew that this was his chance not just to fly, but to discover something greater than himself. something that might change the way humanity saw the universe. Over the next few weeks, Ethan prepared for the journey. He scavenged parts from nearby junkyards, repaired the engines, and updated the navigation systems. Friends began to notice the transformation. "I can't believe it," one of them said, watching the fighter finally hum to life. "It's flying again." Ethan grinned, too focused to respond. He could hear the engines roar, smooth and powerful, like a wild animal waking from a long sleep. During a late-night check, Ethan finally managed to translate more of the device's message. It was fragmented, but the words were clear. "For the one who dares, for the one who seeks, the stars hold truth. Endure, and the path will be revealed." His heart pounded. It was a challenge. It was an invitation. Someone, a civilization long lost, had left this for him or for anyone brave enough to find it. Ethan could not stop thinking about it. He imagined flying through the unknown, discovering alien worlds, ancient secrets, and perhaps even meeting the remnants of a civilization thought gone forever. His imagination raced, but he knew he had to stay grounded. One step at a time, fix the ship, study the map, prepare for the journey. Then came the first real test. As he ran the final engine diagnostics, the device began to project a holographic image. A faint, shimmering figure. It was humanoid, but not human. Its features were sharp, with long flowing lines, and it spoke in a calm, melodic voice. "The heart of the stars awaits," it said. "Only the curious, the patient, and the brave may uncover the secrets. Are you worthy, pilot?" Ethan's hands trembled. His mind raced. I don't know," he whispered, but he felt a truth deep in his chest. He was worthy. He had waited for this moment his entire life. And now it was here. He nodded to the image, feeling a mixture of fear, excitement, and determination. For the next few days, he ran simulations, testing every system of the fighter. He practiced long-distance jumps, maneuvering through simulated asteroid fields, and running emergency protocols. He learned more about the hidden device, discovering small clues, coordinates, symbols, and fragments of the lost civilization's knowledge. Each clue was like a breadcrumb leading him deeper into the unknown. At last, the day came. The engines were repaired, the hull reinforced, and the systems integrated with the mysterious device. Ethan stepped into the cockpit. Strapping himself in, his fingers brushed the controls, feeling the hum of the fighter respond to his touch. For a moment, he closed his eyes and imagined the stars rushing past him, planets of strange colors, and the vast emptiness of space stretching forever. Then, with a deep breath, he activated the engines. The hangar doors opened, and the ship lifted, floating gracefully into the night sky above the colony. Lights from distant moons reflected off its polished surface. Ethan grinned, feeling the weight of gravity lift off his shoulders. He was flying. Not just as a boy dreaming of stars, but as a pilot ready to follow a path left by a civilization long gone. As he ascended, the device projected the first full set of coordinates. They led far beyond known human space, to star systems no explorer had ever visited. Ethan stared at the glowing map, awe and determination in his eyes. He knew the journey ahead would be dangerous. There would be unknown threats, challenges, and perhaps moments when hope seemed lost. But he also knew that human courage, ingenuity, and persistence had brought him this far, and that same human spirit would carry him further. Ethan whispered to himself, "I'll find the secrets. I'll endure. I'll see what no one else has seen." The stars stretched out before him, infinite and mysterious, waiting for him to take the first step. And with the hidden message guiding him, he felt ready to face whatever lay beyond. The galaxy, vast and silent, awaited the boy with the decommissioned fighter. Ethan's fighter glided through the silent expanse of space. The colony he had left behind was a tiny dot, lost among countless stars. Ahead lay the unknown, the territory indicated by the mysterious coordinates from the hidden device. His heart pounded with excitement and nervousness. For the first time in his life, he was truly alone among the stars. The first days were a mixture of awe and hard work. Ethan adjusted the ship's course, monitored fuel levels, and studied the star maps projected by the device. Each system he visited was unfamiliar, with strange gravitational patterns and stellar formations he had never seen before. He had to adapt constantly, adjusting the fighter's engines, recalibrating navigation sensors, and learning to trust both his instincts and the guidance of the mysterious device. Despite the thrill, loneliness crept in. The endless void made him think about home, the people, the dusty streets of the colony, the familiar smell of machinery. He missed the sound of voices and the warmth of human presence. But every time he felt doubt, he looked at the glowing device. Its symbols pulsed softly, reminding him why he was here. He was not just flying for himself. He was following a path set by a civilization long gone. A path meant for those who dared to seek. After a week of travel, Ethan encountered the first real challenge. A dense asteroid field appeared on his sensors, massive rocks tumbling unpredictably through space. Even experienced pilots avoided these regions, but the coordinates from the device pointed directly through it. Ethan's heart raced as he maneuvered the fighter. Dodging enormous boulders that seemed to appear from nowhere, he adjusted the thrusters, used sharp turns, and relied on instincts honed through years of simulation. One asteroid came too close, scraping the fighter's hull. Sparks flew, and warning lights blinked furiously. Ethan's hands were steady, though his mind raced. Come on, he muttered, weaving through the chaos. Finally, after what felt like hours but was only minutes, the field opened up into empty space. Ethan exhaled, feeling both relief and pride. He had survived, not through superior technology, but through quick thinking and determination. Classic human qualities. Beyond the asteroid field, Ethan found something unexpected, a drifting ship, ancient and partially destroyed. It was not human. Its shape was unfamiliar, sleek and sharp, with markings similar to those on his device. Curious, he approached cautiously. The ship's interior was dark, the air long gone. But in the cockpit, he discovered fragments of data storage. Ethan connected the fragments to his own device. Symbols pulsed, forming partial messages. He realized the ship belonged to the same lost civilization that had sent the hidden message to him. It was a warning. Their explorers had encountered something dangerous, something that made them vanish. The discovery sent a shiver down his spine. The journey would not be easy. There were forces in the galaxy that humans did not yet understand. Despite the warning, Ethan pressed on. He could not turn back now. The coordinates called to him, and curiosity burned brighter than fear. Over the next few days, he entered systems where no human had ever set foot. Strange celestial phenomena appeared, glowing gas clouds, planets with rings that shimmered like crystals, stars that pulsed in irregular rhythms. Ethan recorded everything, fascinated by the beauty and mystery of the unknown. One night, while resting in the cockpit, the device projected another holographic figure. It looked similar to the first one, but this time, its expression was urgent. Danger approaches, it said. The path is not safe. Be alert. The voice was calm, but there was a warning beneath the words. Ethan's hands tightened on the controls. He knew this journey would test him in ways he could not yet imagine. Soon after, the danger arrived. A small fleet of alien scavenger ships appeared on his sensors. Their hulls were rough and battered, but their weapons were deadly. They had likely been tracking anomalies in space, and Ethan's fighter, moving through uncharted systems, caught their attention. He realized he was outnumbered and outgunned, but he refused to surrender. Ethan's mind worked quickly. He activated a defensive protocol he had installed, hidden thrusters that allowed sudden bursts of speed. He led the scavengers into an area with a dense asteroid belt, weaving between rocks with incredible precision. The alien ships struggled to keep up, their larger size and slower maneuverability giving him the advantage. Using the environment and his fighter's agility, Ethan managed to escape. The scavengers, frustrated and unable to match his skill, withdrew. His heart raced, a mixture of relief and triumph. He had faced a real threat and survived, not because of weapons or numbers, but because of human intelligence, courage, and adaptability. After the encounter, Ethan's mind returned to the hidden device. The artifacts from the lost civilization were not just messages, they were tests. They measured a pilot's skill, judgment, and endurance. Every challenge he faced was part of a greater puzzle. A journey designed to see if someone was worthy of discovering the civilization's secrets. The coordinates finally led him to the outskirts of an uncharted system. There, floating silently among the stars, was a massive derelict space station. Its architecture was unlike anything built by humans. Towers stretched into space, platforms spiraled, and energy fields shimmered faintly around the structure. Ethan's breath caught. This was the place the device had been guiding him toward. He docked carefully, his fighter moving through docking corridors that seemed almost alive, responding to his presence. Inside, the station was vast, empty, and silent. Lights flickered sporadically, and strange symbols covered the walls. Ethan wandered through the corridors, his senses alert. Every corner could hold a secret. Every room could hide danger. Finally, he reached a chamber filled with holographic records. Projections of the lost civilization appeared, showing their history, technology, and explorations. Ethan realized that this civilization had been highly advanced, capable of incredible feats of engineering and knowledge. But there was also a story of disappearance, of explorers lost to unknown threats. Ethan spent hours studying the records, translating symbols with the help of his device. He learned about their achievements: travel across galaxies, communication with distant worlds, and technologies far beyond human reach. He also found clues to a powerful artifact, a relic capable of changing the balance of civilizations across the stars. The artifact had been hidden, left for someone worthy to discover. As he explored further, Ethan felt a presence, a surveillance system. Long dormant, now awakening. Sensors tracked his every movement. The station was not entirely abandoned. He realized that other factions in the galaxy could be seeking this same knowledge, and he needed to be careful. Every decision could have consequences, and one mistake could cost him everything. Despite the growing danger, Ethan felt a sense of purpose. He had come this far, faced threats, and survived. The journey was testing him, shaping him, and teaching him lessons no simulation or book ever could. He knew that humans were capable of more than they often believed: curiosity, courage, intelligence, and perseverance. These qualities were his weapons, more powerful than any gun or shield. Night passed into day, and Ethan continued to uncover the station's secrets. He pieced together messages from the lost civilization, learning how they had explored distant worlds and faced cosmic dangers. The device pulsed with new information, guiding him toward the next step. The artifact's location was almost within reach, but the path remained dangerous, full of unknown threats and challenges. At the end of the day, Ethan sat in the chamber, watching holographic stars spin across the walls. He thought about the journey ahead. He would have to face more alien forces, decipher more complex systems, and navigate unknown dangers. But he also knew that he had something special: human ingenuity and courage. He would find a way, as humans always did. As he prepared for the next stage of his journey, the device pulsed once more, projecting a final message for the day. The heart of the station awaits. Only the worthy may uncover the truth. Endure, pilot, and the path will be revealed. Ethan smiled. He was ready. The journey into the unknown had only just begun, but he already felt the thrill of discovery and the fire of determination burning inside him. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and mysterious. But Ethan, a boy with a decommissioned fighter, was ready to face it all. Ethan's heart raced as he floated through the massive derelict station. The corridors twisted and spiraled in ways that seemed impossible, as if the station itself were alive. Lights flickered intermittently, casting shadows that made the walls seem to move. But he felt no fear. Every step, every breath, was guided by curiosity and determination. The device pulsed softly, illuminating the way. He knew he was close to the final chamber, where the artifact awaited. The station was not entirely empty. As Ethan moved deeper, sensors hidden in the walls activated. He detected a small fleet of alien scavenger ships approaching, likely tracking his journey. They had recovered fragments of the lost civilization's technology and were drawn to the same prize. Ethan knew he had to act quickly. Retreat was not an option. He had already come too far, risked too much, and discovered secrets no human had ever seen. Using the fighter's hidden systems, Ethan activated a defensive protocol. Small energy pulses emitted from the ship's hull, creating illusions that distorted its position on the station's sensors. The scavengers fired, but their attacks were ineffective against the clever maneuvers Ethan had learned from years of practice and the intelligence of his human mind. Every dodge, every adjustment, showcased the ingenuity and quick thinking that defined him as human. Inside the station, Ethan discovered the final corridor leading to the artifact chamber. The walls were covered in strange symbols, pulsing softly in synchronization with the device. As he approached, a holographic figure appeared, more vivid than the previous ones. "You have endured," it said. "You have proven worthy of the knowledge of the stars. The artifact awaits you, but the choice is yours. Use it wisely." The chamber opened to reveal a massive pedestal, floating in a field of soft light. Atop it rested the artifact, a crystalline device, shimmering with colors that seemed alive. The moment Ethan stepped closer, he felt a subtle hum in his body, as if the artifact recognized him. The device contained vast knowledge, star maps, technology, histories of lost civilizations, and instructions for incredible inventions. It was more than a treasure, it was a legacy of the galaxy itself. But before he could approach, the alien scavengers breached the station. They moved swiftly, their weapons advanced and deadly. Ethan took a deep breath. He was outnumbered and outgunned, but he had learned everything he needed to survive. He activated the station's defense systems, using commands he deciphered from the holographic records. Energy barriers, traps, and automated drones came to life, slowing the intruders. The scavengers were clever, but Ethan was smarter. He used the station's environment against them, leading them through corridors that shifted, using hidden platforms and tunnels. Each move required precision, timing, and courage. It was a battle of wits as much as strength, and Ethan's human intelligence gave him the edge. He realized that no alien technology could replace the combination of curiosity, adaptability, and courage that humans possessed. Finally, Ethan reached the artifact. He activated it with the device in his hand, and a wave of energy pulsed through the station. The scavengers were thrown back, disoriented by the artifact's power, and Ethan seized the moment. He maneuvered the fighter and triggered the station's emergency launch systems, guiding the artifact safely aboard his ship. The station began to close, energy fields sealing behind him as he flew into space. Once in the open, Ethan took a moment to breathe. He looked at the artifact, glowing softly in the cockpit. The hidden device pulsed in harmony with it, forming new coordinates maps to worlds humans had never reached, knowledge humanity had never imagined. Ethan felt a surge of pride. He had survived dangers no one thought he could, decoded messages older than human memory, and discovered a legacy that could change the future. But he also felt responsibility. This knowledge was powerful, and it could not be hoarded or misused. He decided to bring the discovery back to human space, to share it with scientists, explorers, and leaders who could use it wisely. It was not just his triumph, it was a gift to humanity, proof of what humans could achieve when courage and intelligence guided them. The journey home was tense but filled with wonder. Ethan followed the new coordinates, studying new star systems and logging every detail. He encountered strange phenomena: glowing nebulae, rogue planets drifting through empty space, and energy fields that hummed with life. He marveled at the beauty and complexity of the galaxy. Every observation, every challenge, reinforced his belief that humans could thrive anywhere, with skill, courage, and determination. Upon reaching human space, Ethan was greeted with astonishment. His colony, initially skeptical, was now in awe of his achievements. Scientists examined the artifact, confirming its origins from a lost civilization. The data it contained revolutionized navigation, energy systems, and exploration strategies. Humanity gained a vast advantage in the galaxy, not through brute force, but because one young human dared to follow a dream. Ethan's story spread quickly. He became a symbol of what humans could achieve: bravery, curiosity, intelligence, and perseverance. He had faced the unknown, survived alien threats, decoded ancient secrets, and returned to share the knowledge with his species. His adventure was more than a personal triumph, it was a testament to humanity's potential. In private moments, Ethan often reflected on the journey. He remembered the nights in the hangar, the flickering lights, and the fear of leaving home. He remembered the asteroid fields, the scavenger attacks, and the endless corridors of the derelict station. And he remembered the pulsing light of the artifact, waiting for someone worthy. He knew there were still mysteries in the galaxy, dangers and wonders beyond human understanding. But he also knew that humans could face them. They could endure, adapt, and thrive. They could overcome challenges that seemed impossible. The hidden message from the lost civilization had been more than a guide, it had been a test, and humanity had passed. Ethan looked out at the stars from his fighter, the artifact secured beside him. The galaxy stretched endlessly, filled with secrets waiting to be discovered. And he smiled, knowing that humans, with their courage, intelligence, and relentless spirit, could reach any star, overcome any challenge, and claim a place among the greatest civilizations of the cosmos. The journey had begun with a decommissioned fighter and a message from the past. It ended with a human proving that no matter the odds, curiosity and courage could open the doors to the universe. Ethan set a new course, ready for the adventures that lay ahead. The stars called to him, the galaxy awaited, and humanity had a new champion. The fighter roared to life, engines glowing, as he soared into the unknown. The lost civilization's secrets were safe. But humanity's journey had only just begun. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, a message from the past pulsed softly, as if acknowledging the courage of one human who dared to dream.